All right, guys, welcome back. You're in for another amazing video. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 habits that keeps people broke. Now, guys, you want to stay tuned to the end because number 5 is going to absolutely shock you. You're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to be like, what? How is that on the list? But trust me when I tell you, you want to hear my take on this because this is something that's actually good for you, but it's keeping you broke. So with that, guys, for those that don't know me, my name is Jose Gonzalez, aka Mr. Wealth Mindset. And the reason I'm qualified to make these videos and talk about habits of broke people is because I've been broke. Okay, if they gave out degrees for being broke, I'd be a PhD, magna cum laude. In fact, if they would have been paying me to speak at seminars about how broke I was, you could have gotten a notebook and sat down and just let me teach you for a day. All right. Because I've been worse than broke. I've been shattered. Okay. But I came back from it. You can come back from it. So I make these videos, I make this channel to help people break the limiting beliefs that's stopping you from creating true generational wealth and changing your life. If you didn't come from wealth, but you want to make sure that wealth comes from you, welcome. All right. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get into my list of the top 5 things, my top 5, right? And sometimes, whenever you have a top 5, people can argue, oh, this should have been on the list. That should have been on the list. If something didn't make the top 5 you thought should have made it, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's your top 5. All right, let's talk about it. But this is my top 5 things, habits, top 5 habits that are keeping you broke. Now, number 1 relates to language. There's actually a form of language that I attribute to broke people. Okay, broke people are proficient in a particular kind of language. Now, we know people in America and England, in Ireland, Scotland speak English or dialects of English. We know that people in Spain, in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Cuba, Argentina speak dialects of Spanish, right? Brazil, they speak Portugal, right? Same as in Portugal, right? They speak Portuguese. But there's actually a language that I consider to be the language of broke people, and that is complaining. Okay, broke people are constantly complaining. People complain about traffic, they complain about the rain, they complain about all sorts of things that 99% of the time are out of their control. All right, when you're constantly complaining, when you're constantly focusing on problems, on things going wrong, you get more and more problems. People complain about their bills. Guess what they get? More and more bills. All right. Wealthy people, successful people focus on solutions. They acknowledge the problem. Now, you see, there's a difference there. There's a difference there, right? I'm not saying that bad things don't happen. I'm not saying that you shouldn't acknowledge them, that you shouldn't talk about them. I'm not saying that things don't happen in your life that are actually, that have gravitas and shift your life and are painful. Okay, I'm not saying let's ignore what's happening around us. What I am talking about is framing the context of the things external to you that you cannot control so that you can reclaim some type of power, accountability, all right, and stop complaining. Now, again, if you're happy being broke, you don't even have to watch this video, watch this channel because it's not for you. Okay, this channel, this video are for people that want to identify where they're at and what they need to do to actually change their paradigm. Okay, so if you find yourself constantly complaining, again, if you embody one of these 5 habits, it doesn't mean that you're broke. But if you embody 2, 3, or more, I'm pretty sure I can guess within a few $100s how much money's in your bank account. All right, because I've been there. So complaining is the language of broke people. All right, do not complain. All right, instead you want to have an attitude of gratitude because, guys, you're missing the point. Life is a blessing. There's so many people that I grew up with who are no longer alive. All right, life is finite. Okay, when you complain, you're actually blocking your blessings. You're operating under the premise that you're entitled to something. No one's entitled to anything. Okay, stop complaining. That's number one. Number two on my list, okay, is, and this is kind of a broad term, but what I call the idiot box, okay, which is TV, social media, entertainment. Now, am I saying you should not watch TV? No, I watch TV. Am I saying you should not use social media or do forms of entertainment? Not at all. Don't twist what I'm saying. Okay. Again, if you do, if you're just here looking at what I'm saying and finding something to complain, get off this channel. All right. And stay where you're at, because this is not for you. I'm talking to people that want change. All right. That want to know how to break those limiting beliefs behind poverty and create a dynamic life of abundance. So, the idiot box. How much time are you spending watching television, on social media? Okay. And it's not solely just the time. Let's be honest. There's certain industries, fields, professions, businesses where using social media extensively is not only, it's required, right? It's not only necessary, but it's required. Or TV, right? If you're a sports analyst, you're gonna watch a lot of film. You're gonna watch, if you're a movie critic, you're gonna watch a lot of these things. But I'm talking about people who complain, right? Because if you put that idiot box in social media together with complaining, now you have a real problem, right? You see it all the time. You see people go on social media and complain about their job or their circumstance. And then you say, hey, I can help you. They don't want help, right? What they want is other people to validate whatever they're saying. Okay, they actually don't want to change the thing. They just want to talk about it. They just want to complain. So how are you spending your time on devices? Are you engaged in positive stuff? Okay, or are you tuning into the idiot box? All right, and just, I'm not saying that you can't watch your favorite show. I'm not saying that you cannot be entertained. What I'm saying is that people who are broke spend a lot of time, a disproportionate amount of time in entertainment, on TV, on social media, watching things of low value. Okay. And then they find themselves not living the life that they want, not having the money that they want, and thinking that they're a victim of circumstance. Okay. Now, number three, as we move along the list, is, and you might not be expecting me to say this, but one major habit that keeps people broke is sleep. Here we go. Am I saying that you should not sleep? Absolutely not. Am I saying that you should not rest? Absolutely not. But I made a post a few days ago, and I said in my reel, sleep is for the weak and the uncommitted. Now, some people, or maybe just one person, some people, as is always the case, was butthurt by my comments. They were like, that's messed up. There's a lot of people out here dying for lack of a sleep. I know that. I'm not talking about that. And moreover, they know I'm not talking about it. So get out of here with that. Okay? I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about people who say that they can't wake up early and read a book, do personal development, who because they need to sleep. Okay, listen, guys, successful people, wealthy people seldom sleep 8 hours a day for a couple of reasons. All right. Busy people stay busy. Things in motion stay in motion. So again, I'm not saying that sleep is not important. I'm not saying that rest is not important, but I'm saying that if you know that you should be getting up and going to the gym, or if you know that you should be getting up and spending time studying or practicing a craft, working on your side business, your side hustle, doing something that can better your life financially, right? Because you know why a lot of people want to sleep? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're living unfulfilled lives. They're waking up, going to a job that they hate, to be around people that they don't like. All right. So I don't blame you for wanting to stay in bed. Okay. I don't know if any of you remember when you were like a kid and you had like a field trip coming up, or maybe you were going to Disney or something that you were excited about. And the night before, you didn't even want to go to bed. You couldn't wait, or Santa Claus or something. Okay. When you are living a life where you are excited about what you're going to do, when you're excited about what tomorrow holds, you don't want no damn sleep. Okay. Sleep is for people that don't have dreams. So sleep is for people that don't have big goals. And again, nothing wrong with that. No one is saying that you have to dream big, that you have to have big goals. What I'm saying is, if you're broke and you want to change that paradigm, you don't have the luxury of sleeping as many people do. All right. You need to get to work, because every day that you're alive, you're on borrowed time. We don't know how long we're going to live. Tell me, comment below and let me know what day you're going to die. Nobody knows. All right. But yet people want to sleep as if that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay. Successful people, wealthy people are not spending a third of their life asleep. All right. And that doesn't mean as never, it doesn't mean rest. In fact, today I rested. I've been working so hard that this morning I came home from my workout. I had meetings and I told my wife, you know what? I need a nap. Rest is important. Okay. But don't confuse excessive rest and sleep and the excuse that you can't get out of bed and do certain things. Okay. And then say, well, you know, if things were different, if I had more money, if I had more time. You don't have either of those. In fact, go check out the last video that I put up, 5 things broke people say. Okay. And see if you're speaking that language, right? Now, number 4. And this may be quite obvious once I say it, but broke people are financially illiterate. I want you to think about this for a second. Money is a game. I want you to think about that for a second. Money is a game. Making money is a game. Now, why do I say that? I'm going to tell you why. Because it's very simple. I'm going to break this down in a way that even a child can understand. Have you ever played a game with someone who does not know the rules of the game? Usually they're pretty awful. And if they have any type of success, what do we call it? Beginner's luck. Okay? Any game that you play, for you to be good at it, for you to be proficient, for you to be a winner, you must practice. You must put in work. You must develop your skills. So why are so many people broke? Because they do not develop the skill of being good at the money game. I don't know if any of you have ever played spades. I grew up playing spades with my friends, right? And imagine that you've got like a couple of aces, a couple of kings, and you play your ace and your partner cuts you. But they cut you with a spade only to find out that they had other cards that weren't spades. What the hell are you doing? Okay. You're going to look at that person like, you don't know how to play. Get the heck out of here. Nobody plays spades to lose. I can tell you that. Okay. Nobody plays spades to lose. Or what if you're playing basketball with somebody? You're playing a pickup game at the gym. Hey, all right, you come over here. You're on my team. Let's go. We go this way, they go that way. And you pass that person the ball and they shoot it in your opponent's basket. You're going to be like, get the heck off the floor. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to play this game. You suck. All right. You wouldn't continue to pick that person. You wouldn't want to play with that person. Well, once you understand that money is a game and that your lack of money is a reflection of your lack of skill in the game of money, then you can improve. Okay. Then you can improve. All right. And so it's important for people that are trying to change their life and become wealthy, become financially independent, who are trying to break the shackles of being broke. It's important that you get financially literate, that you learn about money, that you learn about assets, that you learn about investing, that you learn about global economics and what is happening in the world. Okay. So habit number 4 of broke people is that they're financially illiterate. They avoid conversations around money. They don't know to the penny, to the dollar, how much money they have in the bank. They can't tell you how much they spent yesterday. They can't tell you once they get their check exactly what they have to buy. They have no financial competence, okay, or interest in it. Now, the last one, and I told you, you're going to think I'm bugging when I say this, okay? But this is a habit. This is something that many of us, myself included, most people revere as a skill of successful and wealthy people. And I'm here to tell you, it's one of the 5 habits that keeps people broke. So you ready? Here we go. Reading. Reading is a habit that keeps people broke. Now, what the hell am I talking about? Well, let me break this down for you. Again, just like sleep, am I saying that you shouldn't read? No. Am I saying that reading is bad for you? No. Quite the opposite. It's good for you and it's necessary. So if it's good for you and it's necessary, how is it a habit that keeps people broke? Well, I'm going to tell you what I mean. Number 1, there's 2 distinctions that I want to make here. Okay? I am not a proponent of reading books. I am a proponent of using books. You see, guys, let's be honest here. There's so many people out here that read books, and you have a conversation with them and they can quote a million authors and tell you a million different things. However, they're just an encyclopedia of useless facts. They actually take no action on any of the things that they read and learn. The difference between knowledge and wisdom is knowledge is what you know. Wisdom is knowing what not to do. Okay? So the purpose of reading books is not simply to become this library of information in your brain that you can go and win Jeopardy. All right? Because guess what? If you're that smart and you're not on Jeopardy, that's a broke person habit right there. You're reading and not actually using books. Guys, books are meant to be used. Sure, some of it is entertainment, some of it is novel, some of it is short story, but most books are meant to be used. Imagine reading a book of recipes and never cooking any of the recipes and then telling somebody, yeah, I know how to make that. Oh yeah, how do you know how to, you made it before? No, but I read a recipe. Makes no sense. Imagine telling someone, you know what? I've read so many books on bodybuilding. I don't work out, I don't lift weights, but I've read so many books on bodybuilding that I can probably go win a bodybuilding competition. That makes absolutely no sense. Books, unless they're for entertainment purposes, are not meant to be read. They're meant to be used. Even children's books. What's the purpose of children's books? The purpose of children's books is to teach them some type of value, some type of utility that they can implement into their life or the marketplace, right? We give kids books on how to brush their teeth, right? On how to how to, you know, whatever it is, on how to be polite to other people, on how to say please and thank you. We teach children values through stories and books. Books, literature, in my opinion, is meant to be used. Maybe you use it for inspiration, okay? But the point is, maybe you use it to bring value to someone else's life, all right? But the point is that books, reading, the purpose of reading is utility, okay? Now, the second part about reading that I say is a habit that keeps people poor is, what are you reading? Okay, see, because books and words is like food. If you eat poor food, it will affect your health. If you read poor materials, it will affect your mind, and as a result, it will affect your finances. I'll give you a great example. And this is, again, not meant as a shot as anyone. This is just a personal example of mine. Must have been at least 20 years ago or more. I read one of the best books that I ever read. The name of this book was The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. Okay. Now, for those that don't know, Sister Soldier is a community activist, a hip hop artist. She's been committed to helping women reform their life and prison reform, and she's an amazing, amazing human being. All right. But she wrote this book a long time ago called The Coldest Winter Ever, right? And it was about this girl that got caught up in the drug game, and her daddy was a dealer and her man was a dealer, and she idolized all these, you know, superfluous things that we idolize, you know, in socioeconomically deprived environments. And she winds up getting incarcerated, right? All right, cool. Well, recently, like literally a couple of months ago, I was flying with my wife. I don't know where we were flying to or from. Actually, I think it was on our trip to Vegas in May. So we were flying back from Vegas, and one thing that I love to do when I fly, okay, because now I don't actually read as many books, physical books, as I used to when I used to live in New York City and ride the train and be reading all the time. Now, you know, drive a lot, we commute a lot, so I mostly listen to audio books. I mostly take in, you know, my trainings and personal development through audio. However, when I fly and I know I'm going to be on a plane and I know I'm going to have to check in and all of this, I love to do two things. I love to buy the newspaper, and I love to get a book and try to read it while I'm you know, flying, traveling, whatever. So we go into the newsstand, and what do I find? I find the sequel to that book. I think it was called, I forgot what it was called, The Last Winter, whatever. The point is that in the book, this girl, Winter Santiago, goes to jail for like 15, 20, whatever plus years or more. In this new book by Sister Soldier, which came out recently, it's the story of her coming back to the streets. In fact, she gets out earlier than a lot of people in the neighborhood thought that she was going to get out. And so it's a story of her transitioning back into life. So when I found that book, I was so excited. I told my wife, "Oh my God, baby, I don't know if you heard Sister Soldier, Coldest Winter, blah, 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 blah." Right? You know how I get hype and I word vomit. So I'm like, this is the sequel. I'm reading the back. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna find out what happened. This is amazing, right? This is like one of your favorite movies growing up as a kid, and then you become an adult and they do a sequel. Okay. Well, what happens? I was only able to read about 10 pages of this book. Now, Sister Soul, it was still wonderfully written, extremely descriptive, very powerful, you know, very powerful message and language. Sister Soldier is an amazing author, and I don't have anything negative to say about her. However, the subject matter, right? The things that they were talking about no longer spoke to me. Okay? They no longer spoke to me. And so sometimes you're going to find that you're going to outgrow certain things, and you're going to outgrow certain things, and they no longer serve you. So guys, make sure that the stuff that you're reading is of substance and value. All right? So with that, guys, I'm going to keep this video brief. Thank you for tuning in. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on my list of the 5 things that the 5 habits that keep people broke. Make sure to like, smash, share. I love you guys. Till the next video, be beautiful. Peace.